Welcome back to Metroid Fusion, everyone. Good to see you sticking with me through this daunting journey. We opened up that hatch last time with our missiles, and we saw one of these earlier. We can now blast through it and pick up a green X parasite. These restock 2 missiles. As you can see, those free-floating X will give us a bit of a power-up from those researchers. Now, I hinted at these, but ladders. From here you can freely aim wherever you like. Let's see, I think if you're... In some cases you can shoot straight up, but... not sure. Anyway, we have to head through this area and we pick up another missile tank. If we want to grab a few more, just over here. We are nearing our target. We've made it to a new area of the main deck. And this is a Ghidorah. You might recognize these from appearing in Super Metroid. Bit late on the shot there. Got it that time. You patiently avoid their attacks. And there we go. Those... I'm not sure exactly what. The red X restore, I think it's a certain amount of missiles and HP. I think about 500 HP. Not entirely sure, so I'll have to get onto that. Anyway, we head into this damaged area. And I can't seem to jump very well off these. There we go, that's a bit better. But you just know when you hear this music of fighters coming up. And they've given us an energy tank. Very generous. Definitely a fight coming up. But don't go down there. Look up. Shoot your way through. And we're rewarded with another energy tank. This will give you an advantage in the fight to come. There is a Core X, which transforms into our boss, Arachnus. When Arachnus rams into the wall, it will shake you off those ledges, and it can shoot those shockwaves, as you've seen. You will get hurt if you land right on top of it. Wait for it to attack. Then jump and shoot. And there we are. The Core X will periodically release different X because we've run out of missiles. At least I hope it does anyway. This isn't going to be an impossible fight because I've run out of missiles, is it? There we are. Shoot it to release a few X. 3 missiles, and we have recovered the Morph Ball. Now, Arachnus is designed to be a fast and frantic fight to get you into the game. Adds a little bit of panic and tension. If you've played Metroid 2 or Samus Returns, you might recognize Arachnus as being the only non-Metroid boss in the game. You could also get the Spring Ball from it. However, it lacks that ability here. We'll have to use our Morph Ball to navigate these tunnels. Climb up a little bit, and... the extra energy tank really does make a difference against Arachnus, and I admit I rush it. So, we're back in this area. If we head up here... this accesses a recharge station, which I might as well use anyway. So let's get back to that navigation room. We still can't do anything about those level 2 hatches, but there is somewhere we'll be able to use the morph ball. Just through here actually, but time for a bit more exposition.
Samus, it's as I feared. The breeding environments have been invaded by X-parasites. Sector 1 SRX shows several abnormalities on biosensors. Sector 1 is a simulation of the SR388 ecosystem. To get there, take the main elevator to the access shaft and use elevator 1. Is your objective clear? Use the navigation room just inside for further briefing. I'm not sure, but I think that whoever allowed the X into the environment may also be linked to the earlier explosion.
So we have a saboteur operating. Not good. Now we can wander in here. This is the Sub-Zero containment area. We are taking damage, so let's get out quickly. Very quick demonstration. Because we're part Metroid, this will be mentioned later in the game, we're vulnerable to cold. Quite frankly, I do prefer cold temperatures myself. I absolutely hate hot weather, which is kind of ridiculous when you consider exactly where I grew up. Anyway, rush through this damaged area. Open our door. The music is telling us to hurry, so let's get going and... Remember those footsteps. Know that sound. Fear it. It is the sound of death. Whoever our saboteur is, they're us. Quick display of the map.
The main elevator leading to the access shaft has been severely damaged. It will be totally unusable for some time, unfortunately. Some unknown agent is at work. Something very powerful. Certainly not human. I'll report when I know more. Now, listen closely.
Now pay attention, 007.
The X in Sector 1 have invaded the atmospheric stabilisers. They must want to alter the environment to their needs. They are already reproducing. Clear all 5 atmospheric stabilizers to stop them. Is your objective clear? Now, get moving.
I'll ease up on the commentary so we can listen to the music. I think it's important to. Honestly fantastic, this music. I don't think it was done justice when it appeared in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. There, as you can see, somehow the X, even though they mimic DNA, have managed to take over machinery. But this music does a very good job of just ramping up the tension. A lot of the music in this game manages to just feel off and unnerving. So we've seen some Hornodes. These enemies are Halzens. They are natives of SR388. You can either hit them in the center when they drop down and leave their weak spot vulnerable, or you can blast their wings off. There's a brand new energy tank here as well. Slowly and surely we move through the caverns. If we take a quick look at the map, there's another atmospheric stabilizer just over here. And more enemies to deal with. We'll have to blast our way through here. And jump over that because there is, of course, a bit of a trap. Well, that's another one. Off we go. Our best path is going through here. These enemies are Mottos. Helmasaur-like creatures, at least I'm comparing them to Helmasaurs because I play the Zelda games. They'll charge at you and then quickly turn around. Their rears are vulnerable, blast them quickly. So just across from here, avoid the Zebesians. And surprisingly, we're not taking damage from lava. We can move across these. Samus can still shoot, but she will aim down. You can't aim up. Press A to let go. And we've added another missile tank. Now, watch out for the Zebesians here. A missile will dispatch them. X-parasites will generally try and flee us. Or jump straight into us. Don't... That dropped a red one, not too bad. Now you'll recognise those lasers as being the ones fired by space pirates in Super Metroid. Things do a lot more damage in this game, and that adds to the atmosphere. I really appreciate that, to be honest. It can make the game a bit tough if you don't know what you're doing and where everything is. But the idea is that you are alone and outgunned. Now if we quickly move down here, we can see regular Hornodes hopping around in the background. They can be possessed by free-floating X-parasites. You can then blast them as needed. Climb onto the ladder here. Move up and... 3 missiles, once again, shuts it down. Just try not to land on the Hornodes like I do. And don't land on the Mottos as well. So we can't do anything about that room down there. But we can go through this way. You'll see some Hornodes hopping around. And another ladder. Time your shots right, and one is still malfunctioning. We've done a pretty good job. If we come up here and go through this door, we have another missile tank. That's right, I do need to do that. So, more Zebesians along here. Take care of them quickly and efficiently. A little bit more efficiently than that. Wait for it to move, drop down, and fire! Try not to take damage, because in this game it really, really adds up. So we've moved into a new area, blast this, and we can head on through another hallway full of water. Now keep in mind you can't shoot while you're moving along these. Let's just move on as quickly as we can. As you can see, another Ghidorah there. So we'll quickly blast this doorway open. There's a save station through there if you want it, but as I mentioned, we're not using those. We also have a lot of opportunity to restore our energy, so... one hit. Just plinked off the rim. Now, you probably will find this adventure plagued by the fact I'm a terrible shot. I actually have fired a rifle in real life. An old 303, admittedly. But I wasn't very good, nonetheless. You were in much more danger if you were standing in the trees somewhere above the target. If you were right in front of the target, you were fine. I mean, stormtroopers would have been shaking their head in disgust. And that ominous music tells us we have a Chozo statue? Okay. Well, let's get a Core X, and this is a Beam Core X. Shoot that eye when it appears. And I'm doing a very good job of getting shot every time. And once you destroy that Core X, with 4 shots to the eye, you get the charge beam. Now, according to some guides, for some reason that boss was referred to as the Elephant Bird, due to a mistranslation of what was intended to be Birdman's statue, in other words, Chozo's statue. It's a partial homage to the Torizo battle from Super Metroid, the very first boss you encountered. It is worth noting that despite the mistranslation, elephant birds did actually exist. There were very large species of birds which died out roughly 1,000 to 800 years ago. They were very large, about 3... Can't do very much there. About 3 meters long, or tall, and they weighed about 760 kilograms. That's the biggest birds we've actually known, and I'm going to have to shoot that again. So with the way now open, we can actually go in here, take out a host of scissors, using our new charge beam, which does a bit more damage. We can also hold the B button to charge up and fire. And with the scissors cut down to size, we can grab ourselves a missile tank. We've nearly grabbed everything we can in this sector. And we're ready to clear out the last atmospheric stabilizer. Now, this is designed to actually show you how the charge beam works, because you can't shoot that one. You also shouldn't run into Hornodes. Missiles will crash into the wall. Actually, I forget you can do that, but the charge beam will do as much... Will actually damage... 2 charge shots will actually clear that out. And we've wrapped things up pretty nicely for this sector. Our objective is complete. There's one more item I do have to grab though. So, let's blast that open. We do have to jump. And now, if I get the timing right... we wall kick up to a missile tank. That's all we can grab in terms of items in Sector 1 for now. I'm trying to get as many missiles and energy tanks as possible. I don't really care that much about power bombs, but we'll see how we go. So, if we check our map, the upper path is where we need to go. So we'll wrap things up for this episode, and I apologise for making it a little longer, by going back and talking to Adam. Also, when dealing with Halzens, 2 charge shots will take care of them. But if you want to attack them normally, that's how you do it. Things are a bit calmer for now. Those enemies will eventually form into a really big blob if you don't just blast your way through. Also worth noting, you can come back here soon to go through a couple of doors, but that one isn't worth it until you get certain items. So we'll wrap things up by seeing what Adam has to say.
Atmospheric stabilisers online, but many X have already made it to other sectors, it seems. In particular, Sector 2, TRO, the tropical habitat, shows abnormalities. I suspect the X entered this sector with the help of our unseen saboteur. He or it may be in TRO now. Samus, get over there. We need to put an end to this. Is your objective clear? Start moving. I'll brief you at the TRO navigation room.
But this is a pretty good job. We can wrap things up for this episode. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time for more Metroid Fusion. Stay safe out in space, everyone.